Of race 1 of GT4 Preseason here at Paul Ricard. We've already had qualifying 1 and we're just getting set for our first 18-minute race. Welcome, James, back to the commentary, mate. You ready for this one?
Good morning. Yes, mate, looking forward to it. Should be a good race.
Absolutely. So as with most formation laps, these guys are warming up their tyres, trying to get around about sort of 26.5, 27 PSI. They can throw themselves all around the track. Ghosting is allowed, so if you see the cars on top of each other, that's okay in the game. And then as we come around to the last sector, you'll see that they'll all move into double file, and we'll get ready for the start. 2 beamers at the front though, that's not surprising given how fast they normally are, you know.
Top speed is crazy on the beamers, so yeah, I'm not surprised at all with that massive 1.8k long Mistral straight.
It's mental, isn't it? Considering the track's 5.8, to have a straight, what, a third of the circuit is one straight, which is mental. Did you know that the McLaren is even faster than the Beamer? It can get to 267.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Now, mate, I'm gonna say watch row 1. I don't know if you want to just keep an eye on maybe 1 or 2 rows back, and just let me know if anything else happens.
I'm not biased at all, but I am currently watching my fellow Pom.
Good work. That's probably a good place to be.
Number 85.
So we've got Rob Brisbaner on the front. Obviously drives his Holden Ute. Pretty keen on his circuit racing and all that. Brings it into the final corner. Mark on the inside there. And we'll cruise up to the line about 70 kilometres per hour. And then we'll get the green light and it'll be go. Sean tucking in behind. Gaz on the outside.
Green light, go, go, go.
And we're green and we're off. Someone's already got a drive through, so we've got Phil with a drive through, possibly out of position or speeding. Alright, so Rob's got a good lead, bit of a gap back, all 3 wide into first corner. That's Sean going down the inside. Gaz holds it off. All clean in the back there, mate?
Yeah, looks like they're all through successfully.
Good racing.
Heading down to turn 3 now, turn 4. In this,
down into a hotel. That's it. It's very easy to get a drive through here.
Oh, there's been some contact between Ash and the number 28 Audi.
Oh, that's Mark. So he's. Oh no, sorry. That's the timing screen.
Sorry, the number 27. Sorry. Yeah, the timing screen is just sorting itself out. But yeah, there was a sort of half spin from Haskins.
Yeah, for Scott. Yeah. Yeah, so Mark has actually lost a few places. He was front row, and he's dropped all the way back to 4th place here. Gaz has made a good jump. He's up into 2nd place. What did I say about the Camaro, right? Bit of a monster around here.
Indeed.
So they're all pretty well spread out. If we watch them come down the straight, doesn't look like anyone's having a go through there.
So it'll be interesting to see how much damage was caused to the Audi of BG28.
Yes, he's well off the back now, isn't he?
Sorry if I don't get all the names right. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much damage. Obviously, with such a short race, well, you're not really going to pit because you know that could be a minute you lose, and well, you're never going to get it back.
Yeah, it's a 10 lap race effectively, so it's all pretty quick. So we've got Rob out the front. 1.1 seconds in the lead, comes around the final corner for his first tour of the circuit, doing very, very well, and he's off. So we've got Gaz coming in 2nd place. Sean's not far behind, keeping him honest, and I don't think Mark's got any damage. I think it's just where they've all sort of settled in.
Looks
I haven't
like
spotted any.
door, so I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of damage. It was only a half spin.
Oh, yep.
Also, interesting that Phil did not serve his drive-through, so he's going to make the most of the laps he's got.
Yeah, he's just going to stay out and enjoy racing close quarters with some cars, and because obviously the drive-through will set him right back, probably behind Scott as well.
It's a good battle between Ash and Haskins at the moment, Mark.
Go on, let's have a look.
A few temps behind. Little gaggle there as they're heading into Virage de la Sainte-Bruenne.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit it on Jamie Smitty rules here. Feel free to have a bit of a gander. Yeah, it is nice and tight there. We might even see a pass here. This is Merc on Merc though.
Looks like Red Bull's got the legs. They're spread out a bit now. They do sound good, the Mercs, I must admit.
Absolutely. The Mercedes sounds phenomenal. They're all down. It's actually Jamie's first race with us tonight, which is awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. So hoping he sort of finds his way, and you know, the community's pretty good. We all sort of help out and share information, and I reckon he'll get hooked. Give it a couple of races, like it's got all of us really.
Well, mate, you know me, if I was, you know, I'm looking for anyone to adopt me to come and live in Australia, or to sponsor me, you know, please write to me, Jim Boyle, that's great, @hotmail.com. Because I'd race with you guys every week, you know that, but work and the time of day gets in the way, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a killer, isn't it? It's a killer. Welcome James Glassington out there in YouTube world. Not feeling the best tonight, should have been on the grid, but he's obviously watching the stream, saying Rob's too quick. Yeah, well, 2 laps in and he's already best part of 3 and a bit seconds ahead. Yeah,
and Gaz, and it's not as, I know I've raced with Gaz, it's not as if Gaz is a you know, an amateur. He's rapid as well, so yeah. Rob is flying.
I think the next GT4 season that we run, I think we'll be putting Rob in the Alpine or the Maserati.
Yes,
I think that can be penalty. Yeah, that'll be penalty enough. But anyone else tuning in, please give the channel a subscribe, like the video, chuck a comment in the chat so we know you're watching, and yeah, welcome. Hope you enjoy the racing tonight.
So Ash's Rebel Dixie has made it ahead of Phil, who of course has that drive-through.
Yes.
So I didn't see the move. Be interesting to see if he was battling it or just let it through. But also we've now got the number 2 Merc, Rob's Chuff as well.
Yes. And this is their 3rd lap, isn't it? So Phil will have to take the yeah, he'll be pulling into the pits. I don't know if Jamie will make a lunge or just wait until the pit entry. That last corner is a shocker for dive bombing as well, isn't it? It's so welcoming because people stay tight, they leave it open, so they come around. Oh no, sorry, a couple more corners, and then yeah,
you just got. If there's someone very close behind you, you've got to be very wary of them potentially making one.
See that drift?
Nice drift.
I reckon his mind's on the drive-through now. You know how just before you... Yeah.
He's not pitting.
He's not. Oh, he's going to get a DQ. Will that be a DQ for it? It will send to the pits. The red mist, you can see the red mist coming out of the exhaust pipe. You really can. Alright, Scott. He's chipping away there. I think is he catching him? We'll keep an eye on that one anyway.
I don't know, but out front the gap has gone up to nearly 6 seconds ahead of Gaz.
Yeah, that's
because Gaz is in a battle with, well, he's just lost 2nd place.
Yep, I've just clicked on that. He's heading off, hasn't he?
Fourth. He's in a mare somewhere.
Yeah. Let's just have a look at Gaz's car, see if there's any damage on it. Excuse me, frog in my throat.
So Sean now up to 2nd place.
2nd, which has made the gap to the front even bigger. That's massive. But yeah, let's see what Gaz can do. I haven't spotted any damage on him, so maybe he's just, you know, lost the back end, run wide or something like that. So hopefully he can recover.
Give us a bit of a race near the front.
Another little tweak we did for this season, James, is we limited the tyres. I don't know if you've had a league race where you've run limited tyres, but this has only got 3 sets over the 4 sessions. So drivers are going to have to nominate a session where they're going to have to use partially worn, scrub tyres, that sort of thing. So there is a little bit of tactic there, but also if you spin out and flat spot a set of tyres or something, you're obviously not going to want to use those again. So it's a bit of self-preservation on the rubber as well. Like that.
Maybe. Well held. I was going to say, it's interesting to know that, because I hate the pit lane entry here. It is horrible because, but they've actually changed it. I didn't realise they've now changed it in 2019, 2020. So it's now before. You can see the lines on the track here, but obviously it's not used. But it's much easier to get in.
Yeah, you enter before Dupont, don't you?
For the last corner, yeah.
Yeah. So for what is it, Tour? Tour is the second to last corner, that curve, and you sort of just go straight ahead now, don't you?
So maybe if Phil was looking for an excuse, he could use that.
He would have, you know, pulled off earlier rather than later. We'll see. All right, Haskins, what's he doing? Works for Audi, lives in Sydney.
Former GT Sport teammate of mine.
There you go. You guys go way back. You ran the Civic back in the day, didn't you?
Civic, and then the Super GT Honda NSX.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Seems like a lifetime ago.
Sure does, doesn't it? Shakedown's not sim racing's not far off its first birthday, because I reckon we were kicking around about this time last year with GT Sports. So it's been a good year. Great community to be a part of. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. Mate, of all those years ago when I met you on that campsite in Monza, if you'd have told me that I'd be co-commentating with you one day, I would have thought you were, I don't know, on drugs or drunk or something.
12 years later. Yeah. How funny, eh? How funny. Alright, stop with the romance, mate. There's a tear in my eye. Scott here is winding it back in. When I last spoke about him, he was 2.6 seconds off. He's now 1.9. Like, he might still run out of time, but he's definitely faster than Haskins ahead of him. So we'll just keep an eye on that gap, and that might develop. Let's get back on the front. Even though he's
gap.
Yeah.
Sean is, well, I think Sean's probably looking in his mirror more than thinking about trying to catch Rob, because behind we've got Mark 1.8 seconds behind. Those gaps are static at the moment, maybe increasing a little bit. And then behind there we've got Gaz, who is 1.4 seconds behind the podium places.
Good little... Maybe I should go on a... We'll come back to Rob when he starts a lap, because we'll talk everyone through the lap, just so I can practice my French. Now we've actually got Phil. We've got Phil in the chat. He's obviously sitting in pit lane with an iPad on his lap. The mechanics have brought out YouTube to him while he sits in pit lane and waits for qualifying too. So thanks for tuning in, Phil. I hope you've clicked subscribe and like, and good to see you checking some chats. Yeah, he said he had no idea what the penalty was for. Start was fine. Must have been the FIA or something, mate.
So he tried to argue it with the stewards over those 3 laps, did he?
Well, he's still got 5 minutes to run up to the steward's office, maybe, and have a bit of a go at them. Welcome, Earth Angel Healer 1111. Good job, Rob. All worried for nothing. So, yeah, welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream, and obviously a supporter of Rob. He's absolutely flying out there. He's doing so well. We might even make him do a pit stop next race, just to try and...
Just about to start a lap, Jim, if you want to walk him through it. You walk the guys through it a lap.
Alright, let's get to Rob. Alright, down to turn 1, Verrier chicane, which is both turns 1 and 2. So you cut in early for turn 1, lift off and back down on the power, run wide but mind the little tags there. We head down to turns 3 and 4, hotel chicane and into camp. Also track limits, a real worry here, don't cut in too early, and then also don't cut through there. Down into Saint Baume, which is 5 and 6, you run it out wide, try and get a good entry into the second apex, foot down hard, all the way through here, which is Le Col and onto the Mistral straight. The Beamer will get to around about 265 kilometers per hour. You just sit there, check your Instagram, catch up on the day's news, and then maybe around about here you go, okay, better put the phone down. No, actually I'll look at one more post. And then coming into here, we're braking at the 100 meter board, down into probably 5th gear in most of the cars. Absolutely throw it in, pick up on the throttle to make sure you don't lose the back end. Coming down into Beausset. Now Beausset's an awesome corner because it's a little bit of braking, downshifting, but then real throttle control through the second apex, and you can really drift the back end out. Round into Bendor. Very, very late apex. Pick up the throttle late for a nice secure exit because it's very easy to lose the back end. Through Village, which is just flat, it's a bit of a curve. Into Tour, a very, very late apex again, keeping hard on the left to open up the final corner, which is Virage Dupont. Try not to clip the inside apex because it is quite bumpy, and power down and head to the finish. And that is a lap of Circuit Paul Ricard.
Fantastic work, Jim.
Have you seen what's happening in 7th place? Might have to get the whiteboard marker out again.
When you were giving us that fantastic tour, I was thinking to myself, there's only a couple of laps left, and so far we've had no drive-throughs. And then just as we finish, Haskins goes and ruins the party, so he's got the forfeit. As I was saying in the qualifying, you know, track limits around here are going to be crucial, and as Haskins has proven, because there's so many areas that are so tempting to run wide. I mean, you get 3 warnings, and there's only a few laps, so he's done quite well. And to be fair, if you don't get a drive-through or you don't get warnings, are you even trying hard enough?
Yeah, this is true, especially in GT4 when you really want to get loose. You want to get loose with it.
Sometimes when you lose it in the GT4s, you don't have that downforce to sort of like gain it back, you know, or pull it back in, like you do with the GT3s. So yeah, it's
or the power for that matter. You know, you sometimes go to accelerate out of a corner where you're losing the back end, and it'll just bog down, and you just can't get the revs high enough to actually recover. So I know exactly what you mean.
I love Haskins. I've just watched Haskins come out, Mark Sorry, come out the pits. Put 2 fingers up to the stewards, just went straight over turn 1 and almost straight over turn 2.
he's going for the double DT. He wants the leaderboard. This guy wants the leaderboard. Look at him go. We're going to stay on him for a little while, and then we'll cut back for the last couple of corners. I've also got Phil in the chat saying, seriously, Charlie, what is this? Racing or ping pong? Channeling his inner number 5. From Germany,
Seb Vettel. Like this is, please no swearing.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil. I do feel much better, and hopefully I do sound a little bit better. Last week I was properly losing my voice by race 2, but the beer is helping me tonight. Tonight's sponsored by Mountain Goat. I got a couple of nice easy session ales, and that'll lubricate the throat nicely.
Got a cup of coffee because it is 11:44 a.m.
Come on, mate. It's beer o'clock in Australia.
It's 12. You know, when it hits midday, then it's fine. But anyway, leader is on his final lap.
He certainly is.
Away, nearly 15 seconds ahead of second place.
Amazing place. Second place, we got Sean Wilson, 33-year-old concreter. He's driven bloody well, and we can't discount it. Sure, Rob's in another world, but Sean has driven a stellar race. I don't think he's had a single incident.
Someone needs to put some concrete in the back of that Beamer.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's your man. He can supply it. So Mark's held off Gaz, whether Gaz has cooked his tyres or anything, but I think Mark had the pace to really hold it. So he's done really, really well for taking the final step of the podium. Not wanting to jinx him or anything, there's still half a lap to go. Gaz in 4th place, Camaro. Do you know what? It's another purple car. Like, I love these guys being patriots for Shakedown, but they don't help our commentary. They really don't. Rebel Dixie, solid 5th place, and he's driven really well. He didn't have an easy run to the line. Obviously, he had to battle his way through a fair few drivers. And Jamie, well done, 6th place for his first race with Shakedown ACC. Doing really well. I haven't seen any, massive offs or anything like that. Looks like he's handling the vehicle really well. So, long may it continue, mate. You've done really well.
Rob coming into the last corner now.
Thank you. There we go. Race 1 winner. Well done, Rob. Very, very dominant display. Check its back.
I think we need to get reverse grid on for the next race.
Yeah, well, you can do it in the PC. You can actually, you can set it up in PC for reverse grid. Sean over the line, 2nd place. Well done, mate. Very solid effort. And Mark, 3rd place.
Very good.
And as we were moving through the grid, just recovering back at the tail end, we've got Scott coming through for 7th. If you look at the field, there's not a huge field spread, they're all just there within one sector of each other, so it's pretty competitive, really. And then obviously we've
major spins or any major incidents apart from a few love taps on turn 1.
Which in my book is absolutely fine, right?
Rob's racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Sean's getting information fed to him from Phil, so Sean says, cheers, Jim. Well driven, Sean. Good on you, bud. And is that another drive-through for Haskins? He's done it. He's done it. He's taken the GT4 DT Championship lead with 2 drive-throughs.
I do hope there's not bonus points for that because, he'll be leading the championship.
Oh, that is class. That is class. Alright guys, well, there's your results for race 1. Once again, we're going to leave this stream. We'll set up another one. We'll be back in about 2 minutes or so. While you're there, if you could like the video, give us a subscribe, chuck any comments in or whatever, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Thanks for watching.